guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. So this is video number 2 of my 2024 low buy fail. And I only say that because I believe in my December completed pages video, I did say that one, I had purchased these, but also that I wasn't going to really be purchasing a lot of coloring books. And between the 3 videos, because I still haven't gotten the 3rd shipment, that's going to be 8 new coloring books I've added to my collection since I did that video. So yeah, a bit of a fail, but things that I wanted, so we're good. The 3 books in this video is Erie's newest world literature, Opal's newest 4 seasons, and I think this is the newest of this person's series called Girls with Flowers number 3. I'm actually going to do a quick flip through of each of these books for you guys. There's several of these. I actually am waiting for number 2 of this, but like I said, I think this is the newest one. Again, when I watch videos, I don't pay attention to things. And so one, I didn't realize it was this size, although it's a nice size because as you'll see, the pictures aren't very large, but I didn't think it's going to be a hardback book, which is not a problem because I think it makes it sturdier, and I do have a focus for this year to work in more hardback books, and this just adds to that collection. I have not worked in these yet. Now, if the title wasn't a dead giveaway, I'm going to spoil it kind of for you and tell you that all of these girls have flowers in the picture. Yeah, I know. The artist is Jenn, and it's all in Korean. I don't translate any of this, and I actually don't care what any of that says. It is essentially a single-sided book because the other side is just the artist rendition of it. As you can see, it didn't have any of those intro how to color pages, but I think that's more of a Japanese coloring book type of thing than it is for the Koreans. The paper is very smooth, so I will have to test out some mediums. For the skin, I'm probably going to sacrifice the other side and do alcohol markers because I am not that confident with pencils for skin, but then the rest of it, I might do a combination of pencils or paint. It is definitely in more of an anime style, but I do love that style, and I just love the movement and the composition of the various girls in here, because I think they are all females. Oh yeah, Girls with Flowers kind of gives that away. But it's really cute. And again, I like the size of it because that means if I am doing alcohol marker work or just any work in general, there's not a lot to contend with. Some of the other portrait books I have, the skin area and just the area in general is just a lot bigger. I think this is one of my favorite pictures in here. I think that's just so pretty. And I love that there is different themes or seasons. I think that one's really pretty too. And it's a mixture of some that are very Western looking to me, but then some that are very Korean, like this. Oh no, there's a dude here. So this is a Korean man and woman in their hanbok, which is the Korean version of like a kimono. An idol, although she has wings, makes her look like a chicken. That's really cute. This actually leaned more towards a Chinese outfit than a Korean one. And again, if I translated that, it might give me a clue. I'm not a huge fan of the ones with animals. Oh, that one's really cute too. Although this animal is quite small and there wouldn't be a lot of coloring, This looks more like an angel because of the white wings. Like I said, the other one looked like a chicken. This one is kind of springy to me. I like this one as well. And I might use this as a reference, especially for the skin, but I like showing that this jumper is sort of in a plaid, although depending on what medium I use, I might just put a washi tape on top of that anyway. Again, not a huge fan of the animals, but I do like the composition of it. I definitely like this with her hanbok, and she is hiding from something. This reminds me of various anime that I like to watch, just the girl and the guy. She's really cute as well. Maybe this gives some idea of what these flowers are. This is really cute in the glass. This is a double page spread, like that. Another one in the glass. And I like that it takes up quite a bit of real estate on the page because then I don't know that I'd feel the need to do a background. The movement on her is really cute with the flowers in her hair. And I actually do like seeing the artist rendition because sometimes it helps me figure out what it is that I'm looking at. She's either sneaking in or sneaking out, but more power to her. She's really cute as well. This one is nice with the kind of movement with her hair in the universe and the galaxy. And then this one actually folds out to a 2-page spread. And this, I think, is the only one that is perforated. Yeah, I don't see that on any other page, so that you could actually take this out and give to someone if you wanted to. And then back of the book. And so that's Girls with Flowers number 3. I did pick this up from Etsy, from the shop Chill and Sarah. I'll link their shop below, not sponsored or affiliated, but just in case you're interested in getting this. Now, Opal is one of the artists that I do want the full set. That's actually not something that applies to many of the artists in my coloring book collection, but Erie, Opal, and Zan Von Zed are the 3 that are. And so this is coloring book of the 4 seasons. The reason why I did not order from Amazon Japan, because that's initially where I was going to, is I couldn't find this. And I couldn't find this on regular Amazon, and that therefore I looked at Etsy. And because I was already going to be paying shipping for the Erie book, I figured, well, I'll just get everything done on Etsy and then just go from there. So that's why I ordered from this shop for all 3 of these purchases, just because. Now, I don't know why I did separate orders, especially with the one that I already showed you and then this one, because it was literally back to back, same day, everything. I don't know why I kept it separate, although maybe the shipping was lower if I separated it. I don't know what the reason was. I just know, I don't know why I did it. But I have all of her other ones. This is definitely more in the style, like books 1 and 3. I will have to test the paper. And Opal books are a combination of mediums for me. I've used alcohol markers, I've used paint pans, I've used like ink tints, and I've used pencils. So it really just depends on what it is that I want to use or what the picture inspires. Now, they are not perforated. I have not broken the spine, but it is marked so that if you wanted to cut it out, it gives you a nice line to it. I think this is going into spring, and every introduction to the season has one of these multi-vignette kind of pages on there. Same with this. So part 1. And this is probably where I'm going to test out various pencils just to see how they work. I know in the other Opal books that I have, 1 and 3, Prismas and Brutfunners work really well. Now, Opal, I love her style. Now, I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish some of these pages were actually framed out exactly like that. I mean, I don't mind the artwork, and I know why it's there to show that you can take this out and frame it and hang it or whatever. But I kind of like the idea of it in a frame that you can color. But I wouldn't want that for everyone, and I guess it just makes more sense to do it that way. But her style to me is just so pretty and so elegant. And Opal books are definitely some of my more colored books, except for the second one, the one that's a hardback with the funny paper. I have tried several different mediums. So far, I've had the best luck with watercolor pencils that have been activated. Initially, when you feel the paper, I would assume, and that's what I initially assumed, is that it's good for like watercolor paint. It is not. The paper does not move like watercolor paper should. And so, yeah, that's why that has the least amount of pictures colored, because it's great paper. It's very thick, very rough, but it doesn't work the way you'd assume that it should. I love the look of this here. And a lot of these pictures are reminiscent of pictures that I've already done. Like there's one where she's lying on her back and reading, and it has these trees. There's another one that I've done that has a whole bunch of balloons around her. So, I mean, it's definitely in her art style, but it also is different enough that even though I've done one with the trees and one with the balloons, I would definitely do them again. Let me see if I can break this spine for a little bit. Now, tons of images in here, and this is part 2. So I guess we're going into summer. And there are things that, like for instance, this one I probably would distress ink all of the green, do a little bit of highlighting here with some maybe marker or paint on top of it, and then just really focus on her and even use washi tape for her dress. So even though I know a lot of people find these pages intimidating, I love the composition, and I made a concerted effort when I first got these that I wasn't going to pay all of this money for a book and then keep it too precious. Do I want to have nice pages in here? Yes. Has that always happened? No. Some of them are not as nice as I had wanted it as I was going through it, but I always love knowing that, well, I'm using my stuff, even if it always doesn't end up the way that I wanted it to. Now this actually looks a lot bare until you look at this page here and the way she's handled all of the blank spaces and making it like a rainy, cloudy day where she's under this giant mushroom, or she's just really tiny. And again, there's a lot you can do here, or there can just be a little. I love the freedom of that. I'm not a fan of these horizontal pages. I never have been on any book. I don't know why, but I just don't like turning my book. But with that said, the composition of this is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I do like the wistful ones, or the ones where the girl is a little sad, because, you know, you see a lot of coloring books that have really happy, really cheerful little girls, even sometimes boys and whatever, but it's very rare that you see any ones that are sad. And I don't want that for this girl, but it is more realistic. So we're in part 3, season 3. We're going into autumn. And I like this picture, although the hands creeping in, I mean, who are these people? And why are they in her picture? It's the only thing that always bothers me about just random hands and things. We don't have autumn here in Hawaii, so I don't know that I'd actually color these in autumnal colors. I might just color them however I want to. And that's the beauty of coloring books. You start with something black and white and you just do what you want with it. And I love that her dresses are always so big, only because I can see various washi tapes that I have, and then that just takes up a lot of space. Oh, okay. Because it's always the dog with her, but I didn't see the squirrel initially. but I love her work. This is very reminiscent to me of the cover of the third book that she has. And I actually do like coloring apples. This one with the coffee drip, I think is also so very pretty as well. And I think this might be my favorite visually in the entire book, because she's in a tree, but the way that it's colored, this is the moon, and then that's a silhouette right there of her. This might actually be one of the few that I actually translate to see what this actually means, because, you know, she's sitting in the moon in the tree with a big shadow of herself in the background, and that kind of looks like tears. I don't know. It's a very interesting composition. This one here also with the steam or the clouds or the whatever that is. This is the second one, I think, in this book that has these balloons. Now, I remember coloring the balloon page. It was either in 1 or 3. And I know by the time I got to the end of the balloons, I was over it. So this isn't a page I necessarily would color. Have me color a bunch of flowers and trees? Absolutely, all day. Have me color a bunch of balloons? No thanks. This here too, I can see done in washi tape, especially the wide ones that I have, although it could also be a very light curtain and then just working in the shadows with a light pencil here. But I like the composition of it. And we're going into part 4. I am also not a huge fan of winter or Christmas pages because I do not like coloring water. I do not like coloring snow, and I'm actually not a huge Christmas coloring person. If there was a season that I liked to color, it would be witches, which is not actually a season, but I do prefer coloring witches or witchy type things for anything else that's seasonal. Because I tend to lean towards witchy type things or fairy tale type things in my coloring journey. See, these random hands seem okay. I'm not sure what's going on here, so another one I might want to translate. One of my favorite pages from one of the other ones, either 1 or 3, was, I think it was one where she's holding an umbrella and slightly different scene. And so it kind of makes me want to color it as well as the coloring of the original. I don't necessarily feel that I need to stick to that, but because it has helped me through the years figure out how to do shading and coloring and blocking. I have found it helpful sometimes to try to mimic it just so that it helps me figure out how to do things on a page, and hopefully I'll remember how to do that for future pages. As you can see, tons and tons of images in this book. And I do like that for all intents and purposes, it is single-sided. So if I wanted to, it could be full-on alcohol marker work. I do like the look of this page. It gives you a sense of movement, but it also gives you a sense that she is dreaming, not just because you can see her sleeping there, but how whimsical the background is. This one I like as well. One of the books I'm still waiting on is the wreath book from Itome, I think it is, just because I like those type of shape and movement on there. But I think that's really pretty. And that actually does not lean wintry or Christmassy at all. Although maybe these flowers are winter or Christmas flowers. I don't know. I like this one as well with the stars on the ground. And this is new. I don't remember these in any of her other books where she introduces characters like these. I think she has some sheep or some bunnies in her other books. I think there's a bear, but nothing like this, where I don't remember seeing any of these characters in any other section of the book. I could be wrong. I haven't, you know, me, I don't pay attention really closely. But I think these guys are super adorable. I like him. And I like him. And then we are at the back of the book. These are really thick. So you could actually cut these out and frame these. I think this would be interesting as a journal cover. You could probably fit an A5 with most of her there. This is that, I think it was the first page that we looked at. I love the look of that. And then this is a sheet of stickers. And I believe number 3 also has a sheet of stickers in there. But although I'm pretty casual about my stuff, I don't know that I'd color these or use these. And I don't know that I would color or use the ones in number 3, just because I'm not precious about things until I am. And then some of those pages in the back. This is actually really pretty, and it reminds me of sort of the Green Ivy coloring books, intro and outro pages. But that's Opal's newest book, 4 Seasons. And then this is Erie's newest book, World Literature. Now, I don't know, and let me get them. So I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I literally have them in a bookshelf right in front of me. I didn't pull them all out. But the Romantic Country series, because I do keep the jacket on here, all has a black spine on it. The Trace and Color all have white spines on it. And then the newest ones, the World of, all have colored spines on it. So on my bookshelf, this is going to add to that collection. And I think it's interesting because up until this series, so she had 9 books, there were 3 in each series: Romantic Country 1 through 3, the Trace and Color 1 through 3, and then these World of 1 through 3. But I think it does make it, I don't know, more interesting, where she themes it the world of this or the world of that, because I just I'm gonna like seeing that on my bookshelf like that. I don't know if you guys ever noticed it, but because it is sitting right in front of me, I have. And I don't take these dusk jackets off, and this isn't something that I'm ever going to color because I don't take these dusk jackets off. But Erie, like I said, is one of those auto buys for me. It looks like the same publisher that the other 3 were by. Yeah, because I'm looking at the spines of the books in front of me, and these match for all of these here. The Trace ones actually seem to have a different publisher, and then the Romantic Country seem to have a different publisher again. Just interesting. Not something I ever look for. I don't generally translate any of this, and I don't know that I actually would color any of these intro pages. I don't know if I mentioned, but it's World Literature. Open the door to your imagination, hence the door. It gives you a little bit of a synopsis of all of the different stories of literature that are covered in here. And I don't believe that they're all Western stories. But to me, it doesn't matter what the story is, because I just love her artwork. And I do love the movement of her pages. Like, this is the tortoise and the hare. I would have assumed this was 3 blind mice, but there's only 2 and they look like they can see. But again, it doesn't matter what the story is, because I love the imagery of here. So I wouldn't even need to look at the translation to figure out how I should color it, because I'm just going to color it the way that I want to. Yeah, so definitely not all Western stories. Like, this is giving me like Greek or Egyptian vibes, but this is definitely giving me Japanese vibes just because of their dress. Don Quixote. I'm not sure who this guy is with all the books. I've yet to tackle an Erie page that has these tons of books. I love the visual, but I know I'm just going to hate my life trying to color it. I think this is more Don Quixote, because that's that dude right there. Beauty and the Beast. And this looks like the Nutcracker. And it's not a 2-page spread, although it looks like it could be. This is Ebenezer Scrooge, and that's Bob Cratchit. I think this is finishing up the Nutcracker. I think that's Ebenezer's nephew with the girl he marries, and then the Christmas present. So the Ghost of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Present, and then I think the death one was the Ghost of the Future. I'm not sure who this is. It's kind of giving me Spanish or Gypsy or even Middle Eastern vibes. Really cute. Again, not a 2-page spread, although it kind of looks like it is because it's the same characters. Oh, Little Women, because of this. I don't know who this girl is with the flowers with the faces on it. Kind of freaky. Not mad at it. And then I don't know what these guys are, and I don't know who he is, but it's kind of cute. Oh, is it a walrus? I think it is. Huh. And, oh, maybe this is Little Red Riding Hood? No, but that's not a wolf. That's a sheep. And Granny was in bed and not knitting something. I don't know. I might have to look the translation up of this as well. And I want to say this is Heidi with Peter, but I don't know. This is Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, although I think those two guys are in the same story. Yeah, it's been years since I read, but he's painting. And then they go fishing. The Prince and the Pauper, maybe? The Dude and the Monkey? Maybe? Oh no, I think this is Heidi, so I don't know who those guys were before that. Dancing Dogs. But this guy's in bed, so maybe he's sick, so maybe they're dreaming of the dancing dogs. I mean, I guess I don't need to know any literature at all. I'll just make up my own story. And maybe this is Heidi and Clara, I think was the little sick girl's name. This guy's going with this girl to this place. I kind of like the dolls. I just don't know that I would want to color the dolls. I'd be more likely to color this here. I do like a circular page. I think this is Jungle Book, and that's Mowgli with whatever that dude's name is. Simba, Pumbaa. This looks familiar to me, although I don't know why, and I don't know why she looks so poor and so sad. Maybe it has something to do with the prince. I mean, the juxtaposition of her poorness and his wealth is kind of rude, but I'm sure it's a story of something. Strange kind of segue because, I mean, these flow in together and these do not, so I'm not sure if this actually goes with it or it's just it's standalone. Again, might have to look this up. This is Anne of Green Gables. The aunt and the uncle there. Or maybe Pippi Longstocking. No, I think it's Anne of Green Gables. But then I think it turns into something else with this, the nautical page. And maybe that is a continuation of the other. I don't know what this is, but it's kind of freaky. It's also not a page I'm likely to color because, again, I don't like coloring water. As Christmas pages go, I actually like this and would probably color that. I certainly like this, although I'm not sure what's going on. Cheshire Cat. So this is Alice in Wonderland. Or maybe not. Wildcat House. Because other than that smile, nothing actually speaks to Alice in Wonderland in this picture. Interesting. And I'm not sure what he's chiseling there. She's cute. Okay, so this is the wardrobe, the witch, and the something. The Narnia book. I'm going to tell you right now, this is kind of triggering for me, but in a hilarious way. I don't know who these people are. But I remember reading the books as a kid, or maybe as a teenager, but I remember reading at least the first book. Let me just say that. And so when the movie came out, whenever the movie came out with the guy who plays the younger version of Professor X, I'm like, okay, yeah, I read the books. I remember liking the books. I didn't realize what it was symbolizing or whatever. Didn't care. Didn't matter. And then I started watching the movie. And then this guy comes on screen. Again, the younger version of Professor X. Don't remember his name. And I had to stop watching the movie because that's the hottest goat guy I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I remember specifically thinking, God, that goat guy is hot. And this is a kid's movie, and that's not a phrase that I'd ever thought that I'd think. And so I stopped watching it. So I have not ever actually seen that movie in its entirety because of the hot goat guy. I think he's a fawn. He's a hot goat guy. That's all I know. And so when I flipped through to this page, I'm like, oh, it's that movie. Yep, flip it. And then we're at the end of the book. This actually, I think I would color. And then you've got some yellow toned images here. And I guess you can make these into ornaments because it's got the shapes here. I'm not sure what you would do with it. It's interesting that it's on this yellow toned paper because nothing else in the book is. So I don't know how the colors would actually work with those pages. I'm not a swatcher, so it doesn't really matter. And then that's the back of the book if you're interested. And that is the third book in this whole video. All right, guys. Well, I'd love to know if you have these or which book is your favorite of the three. Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.